Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. In this video, we're gonna talk about Floyd Mayweather because, honey, 50 Cent was right about this man and his reading capabilities. Talk about making a lot of money, but not being able to track your money, nor even, you're telling me that all this time, Floyd Mayweather has been making so much money and has not invested in himself, invest in getting the right people. Like, how many times are we going to hear the same stories about black men getting ripped off? Like, when are these black businessmen in the industry are going to come together, create a organization to watch their money, to watch their back? Like, they all pick apart each other so badly and they don't read into the consistency of how they're robbed no matter what field of the Hollywood industry they're in. Couple weeks ago, it was Nick Cannon. Weeks before that, it was someone else. And it continues like a trap repeated cycle. And when it's not Floyd Mayweather, when it's not Kanye West, it is JayZ. None of them are escaping this pattern. And you guys might be asking, JayZ, we thought JayZ has had this down tight. Think about it. JayZ definitely has it down tight. But JayZ's business partners, they were lowballing him, honey. And he had to take them to court over his alcohol brand. I think it is called JayZ, right? JayZ. When he wanted to sell some of his shares, they valuated him less than $500 million. And he was like, no, honey, I know my shares in this company is over $500 million. He took them to court. The court got a valuator involved and JayZ was proven to be correct. Ever since then, that's when they've been after JayZ with these claims of allegations about him doing this and him doing that. And when I've been telling you guys that I know what JayZ is capable of doing, and once I hear JayZ doing something unapproved to a minor, I'm not going to believe it because I've been tracking these things like years ago before any of it was trending on social media. So I know the root of where some of JayZ's enemies are coming from. But if you guys weren't catching up years ago, you will not be able to see the play. But my point is, while things happen to a lot of celebrities, these things consistently happen to the black men in the industry, no matter how ironclad they are, it consistently happens. And what they need to do is to come together to build a wall of protection around them. They can always have their little squabbles. They can always have their little beef. But if they don't realize that it's time for them to protect each other and their assets, honey, they're in big trouble. But Floyd Mayweather, like, damn, you're wondering, how were you there signing stuff, not knowing what you're signing? What about your attorney? Who was involved when you're signing the documents? Who oversees the document before it gets to you? Like, how did they hijack you to sign something? And why were you so invested and trusting to sign something knowing that your inability to read and write correctly, or in a good sense, is not altogether there, you know? This is a hot mess. It is a hot mess. So Floyd is suing over the $175 million fraud, right? His private jet sold by his signature. He said that he was tricked and a bunch of other things. But Floyd Mayweather is also tricky too, honey. He's very tricky as well. May not be done with the books and pens so well, but he's tricky. He's one heck of a tricky guy. I must say that. Now, according to TMZ, what they're saying is that Floyd Mayweather says he got cleaned out to the tune of $175 million, claiming a former close associate ran a years-long scheme that allegedly drained his bank accounts, hijacked real estate deals, pawned off his jewelry, and even made his private jet disappear. How did this happen? How? Now they're saying, according to the bombshell lawsuit obtained by TMZ, Floyd claims Jonah Rechnitz spent years gaining his trust. Same thing that guy did with Nick Cannon. The stories are always the same, similar pattern. Before allegedly becoming the boxer, de facto money manager, real estate guy, and banking middleman. Now, Mayweather says it was all one night giant setup. It was, what am I reading today? What the heck am I reading? Let's back up there. He's saying no. Mayweather says it was all one giant setup. No. In the suit, Floyd accusing Rechnitz along with Eyal Fritz Apex Adventures, and attorney Alexander Salison of orchestrating a massive fraud operation that allegedly rerouted millions of dollars through fake investments, and no one knows fake investments like Floyd Mayweather, unauthorized wire transfers, and shady business entities. Oh my God. They came together and they were there hyping up Floyd, telling Floyd he's the man. They're taking care of business, and Floyd trusted them while they were making good their escape with Floyd's money, Floyd's jewelry, Floyd's asset. And they were dumb enough to think that they were going to get away with it, because even though Floyd can't read and write, the guy got sight. And when he's not seeing his private jet, can you imagine you stepping out like, where's my private jet? Wait, hold on a second. I'm not seeing my private jet now. Where's my private? So you're telling me that these men, if you think about it for a second, can you just begin to imagine how evil someone has to be of you? Not just evil, envious of you. Not just envious of you, how very little they think of you to make off with your private jet. Don't even talk about the money, because the money part I can understand. Wire transfer, transferring the money in small increments, claiming to be investing it in something while you're only investing it in your own pocket. But how the heck did they think they were going to pull off a private jet? So you're telling me that you were so envious of this man that you could not leave the private jet out of this heist. You were determined to take this man's private jet as a part of the heist and think you were going to get it. Like, this should not even be a lawsuit at this time. This should be a RICO. This should be wire fraud. Like, hello, where's the feds? Where's the FBI? Come on. You're telling me that Floyd has to be suing? But that's smart too. Sue, get your money after you win your case. You call in the Fed so they can do time, right? No. They're saying that among the jaw-dropping claims, Floyd says roughly $100 million worth of bling was handed over to Miami jewelers for only about $13 million in return, and says a huge chunk of the collection is still with the dealers. Okay, so he was able to regain some of it, but the dealers are still holding on to a huge chunk of that. I wonder why, when it's stolen items. I'm wondering if his attorneys are handling it. And going forward, how do you trust anyone? How do you even trust anyone to handle your financial affairs going forward, right? They're saying the lawsuit even includes an alleged text exchange where a jeweler threatened to start liquidating Floyd's pieces if payment weren't made, and Rechnitz allegedly replied, "Agreed, thanks." Oh my goodness, they have no shame. Mayweather also says he wired $7.5 million into what he thought was an investment deal, but claims the investment never happened and the money disappeared. Beyond that, he alleges another 15 tied, that's $15 million now, we're talking about Floyd Mayweather, tied to the realty settlement, was transferred out without his permission. And it doesn't stop there. He says he unknowingly signed paperwork transferring ownership of his Gulfstream jet. Oh my God. I know, right? I know. So you're telling me that when you signed the document, your eyes did not, you did not even do at a glance? What am I signing? It says Gulfstream jet. What's up? What am I signing about my Gulfstream jet? Explain this, and what do they, like, come on, Floyd, read. But as 50 says, seems as though the dude can't read, and this is where it gets dangerous. Floyd could have invested in a private tutor, and he could have learned to read at a very slow pace in 5 years. Very, very slow pace in 5 years. And he could learn the basics about contracts, deals, and all of that if he was willing to invest in himself. I hate this for Floyd though. I really do. Because his body has been used so much. So you guys know when he gets older, he's gonna need all of this money for therapy and everything. So they need to let Uncle Floyd get back his money. Like, they need to step on the gas. Uncle Floyd needs to, like, I don't care what mess Uncle Floyd has been in and how he spends his. Did you guys see that game? Did you guys see that game that Floyd Mayweather was at? Blue Ivy and JayZ was there. Court line, right? And Floyd Mayweather was taking out stacks, giving to Blue Ivy, like he's saying, "Hey, Blue," he was there like he was saying, "Hey, Blue, this is Uncle Floyd. We're just catching up, but hey, girl, here's a few stacks from your dear Uncle Floyd." And Blue was looking at her dad like Blue did not even want to look in Floyd's direction because JayZ wouldn't have allowed that. And honey, the queen would not have allowed that. But everyone knows that that's just how Floyd Mayweather is. He just wanted to give his niece a huge stack. That's his niece. That could have been $500,000. Maybe it's the first time he's meeting his niece in a couple of years. And he was like, "Hello, Blue, Uncle Floyd here. Here you go, honey. A few stacks." Floyd was just handing out stacks like that. Floyd needs to cut out of that behavior because this is the behavior that is getting Floyd robbed. But chances are, because Floyd is not selfish with his wealth and he gives it so freely, it keeps coming to him freely. He's like, Floyd does not hoard his money. He does a lot of things and he does a lot of promotions for companies that are often shady, and he normally gets in trouble with the FCC, and he pays the fine and he moves on. But he does give a lot of money to a lot of people. He just loves to give money. Floyd loves to give money, and he needs to be very careful. Very, very careful, right? Can you imagine just signing off your Gulfstream jet with the buyer section left blank? The buyer section left blank, and says he still doesn't know where the aircraft money went. Oh my God. Oh my God. So Floyd further accuses Fritz of falsely representing himself as a top executive of Beta Properties, despite allegedly never holding those positions. Mayweather is suing for at least $175 million punitive damages and full accounting of where all the money allegedly disappeared. I think what he's doing is the best move. Secure your money and assets. Let them worry about jail later. No one is good going to jail without giving you back your money. So I have to say that that's a good move so far. But I do hope that once he gets back his money and everything, they do time behind bars, because they need to know that it's not okay for you to be out here ripping off people like that. Like, I don't support anyone ripping off Uncle Floyd. Not at all. Not at all. That man's body has been taking punches, and we know what happens oftentimes to a lot of boxers. Mike Tyson is doing well at his age so far, but we know that because of boxing, they can have neurological disorders as they get older, bone issues, muscle issues, joint issues, which they're gonna all need therapy for, which is a lot of money. So Uncle Floyd is gonna need to have that good money for his retirement. Make no mistakes, the residuals that will be coming in will still be crazy. But that does still not give anyone the right to be out here ripping off Uncle Floyd, honey. Not at all. Absolutely not at all. So I hope that he gets back his money, because there's one thing I will never, ever tolerate, and that's a damn thief. I hate criminals. I hate people who falsely represent themselves to be something they're not. Give Uncle Floyd back his private jet, his money, and everything, and then I hope Uncle Floyd sent their asses off to jail. I really hope so. But 50's gonna have a field day with this. 50 is gonna have a field day with this. But if I was Floyd, though, I'd be friending 50 at this time, because 50 is really good at winning cases, with the exception of the lawsuit that was the other day, the one that he tried to get his baby mama on. Shaniqua, yes, that one who signed the NDA not to talk about G-Unit and all of that. He has that woman in gag order for too long, for too little money, and the judge was like, no, she wanted to release a book and stuff. I was to do a video on that, but I've been so sick that I completely forgot. But we may talk about that later today, guys. We may talk about it later today. Oh man, I hate this for Uncle Floyd. I really, really do. But I can't get over him trying to give Blue. I can't get over him trying to give Blue some stacks at that game. Uncle Floyd, hit me up. Your girl needs some stacks, okay? But anywho, guys, that's all we have to talk about for this video. We're going to talk some more in the comment section. Peace.